What's up, everybody? About to go live. We're going to talk about Hyuga and some other characters here. Characters that everybody loves and that we need to have an honest conversation about because some of them are a little bit silly. ¿Qué onda, Matias? I'm gonna wait a little bit, let a couple of viewers come in before I start anything. Although I am gonna reposition the microphone because it's apparently a little too far. That should be a little bit better. Maybe. I'm not sure. How's everybody doing? How did everyone do this Dreamfest? You played today Tsubasa Cup with the blue team? I did it once until I realized it's bugged, and then I decided not to keep doing it. So I wouldn't cheat people out of their possible wins. Anyways, we're gonna get started here. We're gonna go ahead and just... we're gonna... ¿Qué onda, Carlos Tamaris? Alright, we have about 10 viewers, so how's it going, everyone? What's up? So, first off, I want to say shoutouts to all the new subs. I managed to get to 500 subscribers. That's the first time we meet a sub goal. We did the sub goal for September. We barely made it, but we did it. So, a little bit of growth, but pretty good. So, we're gonna start off. We're not gonna show anything in particular about the game. We're just gonna talk about these players first, because I need you guys to see the difference between the current Hyuga, the Schneider, Santana, and the Aoi. Although I guess I suppose since we don't have a whole lot of people here yet, we'll go through the stuff. Let's just look around, see what we've got. Oh, what's the notice? Did they announce the fact that there's a bug? Oh, okay. The game could just crash. That works too. That's always nice. The game just taking a shit. Unity can have a bunch of problems sometimes. It's just a fact of life. When you're using Unity, sometimes it shits itself. So I'm gonna guess they did not point out that there's a bug. We get some people. Please recommend limit break and skill set for Hyuga. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Passive skill issue fixed. I guess it did. Was a little broken. They should have just written was a little busted. So we'll talk real quick first about the characters. I got pretty lucky. I got both Diaz and I got Diaz, which was nice. Again, the street dribble already. I just overrode it because I'm gonna put probably gonna give him twin drive shot. But I don't know. I might just give him the. I want to give him the not the 1-2, the tackle, and then I'll see what else I could teach him. Because Juan Diaz isn't exactly what I would say replete with skills, but maybe the B shot should be enough since the 270 shot. So I'm happy with him. And then picked up this beast. Pretty nice. A ton straight line dribble because I'm going to max it out to B60. I don't know if I'm going to keep Tiger Dribble. And I don't know if I'm going to keep Tiger Pass, actually. I might pull the tackle off of another version. Because I think he might actually be a good idea on tackling since I don't have Nita. But I might just keep Tiger Pass as a mix-up option. I might give him an overhead if I find one, but I'm not going to give him the overhead from my good Hyuga. I might have to look into my green Hyuga, and then this is just my green team. It hasn't changed at all. This guy's been here forever, so he's just there. It's alright, just chilling at 13 viewers so far. I think I can nuke this team now, because I don't care about this one. So... we get some people. Please recommend limit break and skill set for Hyuga. The good thing about Hyuga too is that you can build him as onto a 40% team, which is nice. Because there's enough blue buffs for that, but there's no blue forward buff yet, so it's kind of hard to get him to 45. In fact, it's actually impossible to get him to 45%. And so we're gonna talk about that. Anyways, we got 16 viewers. That's to me more than enough to talk about these units. So let's go over it. So first off, Kojiro Hyuga is kind of a beast. We're not gonna go over his stats too closely. I mean, we can, to be honest. In fact, I guess we should. So let's do that then. So looking over his stats, we can see that he is a 6,000 dribbler base and an 8,400 shooter, which is 8,489. This is in line with the last two Omega busted strikers, which would be Schneider and Santana. That's pretty great. Schneider has 8,413 and Santana has Schneider has 8,413 and Santana has 8,359. And then with their power, though, his power is only 7,189. Santana's is higher at 7,490, and Schneider's is higher at 7,398. This means that it winds up being that Hyuga is the weaker of all three, with 12,084 total. Meanwhile, Schneider has 12,112, and Carlos Santana is 12,104. It doesn't matter. He is the first blue forward in the 12,000 club. He joins Brian in the 12,000 club as another blue 12,000 shooter. Now, the other cool thing about this Hyuga is that he has, 6,400 dribble. His passing is kind of okay. It's nothing crazy, but it's not bad. He has 6,155 tackle, which is pretty nice. He's whatever at block and whatever at intercept. He's just token amount of block and intercept. He has 5,700 speed, which is actually pretty good. Because of that amount of speed, there is an argument to be had to limit break him entirely on speed instead of dribble and tackle, and I'll discuss that a little bit later. And then his technique is 5,900, which he really doesn't need. I don't understand why his technique's so high. They could have maybe given it a little bit more into speed, but maybe they just didn't want to release a completely broken unit. Now, for stats that he only comes with Raiju Shot, Descending Raiju Shot, and Tiger Dribble. These are two skills that I added afterwards. Obviously, his team skills, Warriors Emergence, which is Agility plus 10. All stats for all Agility players plus 10. And Nationality Link Japan as opposed to Type Link, which means that you have to build the Japanese team around him to get the full benefit of his passive, which is a little more difficult than potentially the other two strikers who do it by Type Link, which make them a lot more flexible in terms of color build. But at least this Hyuga is very, very good in a rainbow team. So if you put him in a 30% Japan team, he will probably very easily access. Actually, he'll very easily be able to access his passive, and that might make him just flexible enough that you may want to run him in a rainbow team rather than a blue team. So talking about this Hyuga, he does come with quite possibly the strongest of all the skills of any of these forwards, which is Descending Raiju Shot, which is a 490, I believe, power shot. I can check right here. Yes, it is a 490 shot, and as a result, he has if you go and you look at all of them and you go all things equal, with 30% and given the shot or the physical formation and everyone in a 12% club, then his shot with the shot passive and a shot with the physical passive, then if you go with the shot passive, which is the stronger of the two, you wind up with 110,605 for a shot skill right over here. That's pretty high. I think that with that amount, it's just there are very few goalkeepers that can do anything about that if he were to like max out his shot. Obviously, if you do the physical, you suffer in that you lose maybe about 4,000 total points of shot. It's still not that much. You may find that the physical passive benefit is better for you in some other regards, for example your goalkeeper, and so maybe you want to sacrifice 4,000 of his shot for the rest of your players. It's up to you, obviously. His Raiju shot is a 107,219. It is a very expensive shot, but it does have 3 blowaways, which I believe the only other shot that does that is Neo Fire Shot. Neo Fire Shot is, all things considered, all things considered, once you consider that everything is equal, 30% stats and everything, Neo Fire Shot is not much better. It is only better by, it's by less than 100 total points once you max both of them, because they're both the same strength. And I do believe Neo Fire Shot has only 2 blowaways, even though it's that strong. You could obviously teach Karl-Heinz Schneider something like a Twin Fire Tiger or something like that if you were so inclined, and it would be the same thing, but it's here just for comparison purposes, because it is a 475 tier shot. So Neo Fire Shot and any other shot, if you taught the Red Schneider Twin Fire Tiger, it may be more, it may be a better shot because it's cheaper and maybe better, but then you would probably have to play Schneider up front with someone like Brave Tiger Shot Hyuga, and you may not be all about that. Meanwhile, Santana, I believe, got it the hardest of all of them. He is not the strongest of these 3. He only has 104 maximum because of Sky Hot Shot not being a 475, it's only a 465. And Golden Flying Drive, I put them both here, but they're basically the same shot in terms of power, but Golden Flying Drive shot doesn't have any distance decay and is cheaper, so it is a better shot if all you want is to replace a shot for something with the same strength. However, if you want to get some blowaways, you do take a little bit more of a hit. You take about 5,000 power total, 5,000 total momentum worth of a hit to your shot. However, that does mean that it is a long distance 2 blowaway shot, and it's still pretty inexpensive, and so a lot of people may want to consider giving Golden Eagle shot anyway, because the extra blowaways are very important, and the fact that you can let it rip from further away complements Hino, who is still very strong, and we don't know what his passive is yet. Also, the other interesting thing is that if you were to have gotten a dupe of the blue Santana, and you decide to teach the Greek Santana rolling arrow jumping overhead kick, then you wind up with 107,154, which is nice. You know, you may be about that. So it's up to you. Now, and then the end to compare because of Shingo Aoi, because I always want to make this comparison, what I call the best character in the game. Remember that you do still have this crazy person with the max passive. He still shoots from long distance at 100,801, 96,000 if you use the physical skill. And the reason why I include Shingo is because Shingo is overall probably the most flexible character in the game and the best character in the game overall. He has the best intercept in the game right now in terms of efficiency plus his stats. He has the best ability to just get forward with the ball, more or less. He's just above average at everything and very, very, very top tier at shooting to match up with all those things. And so you need to keep in mind that this character exists at all times when you look at anything that's like a top tier shooter, because he's in the discussion for it. Now, likely scenarios covers situations where you are likely to see builds that are very generic, but that have the new positional players. Now, in that case, blue can only play Yumikura, Matsuyama, and stuff like that, and so there's no forward buff. And so as a result, he still stays at 1.3, only with positional. However, featuring the positional, Schneider and Santana can both get to 1.35. And so that makes him a lot stronger, and obviously so can Aoi. And when you take that into consideration, Schneider starts pulling ahead. He gets like almost 800 bonus shot. Rolling Golden Eagle shot enters the 100,000s, which starts threatening Hyuga. Hyuga, who can only do 107,000. It's very easy for Santana to do this with the positional plus the extra buffs. You know, it's just real simple for this to happen for him. And so we have here this, and now we have here obviously Shingo, who positionally can get to 135 also with just positional buffs, right? See, like 35 positional, 35 positional. He can only do 3 positional right now. 30%. And now if we do fully optimized, what ends up happening is that in the best possible team buffs, Hyuga can get about 40%. Santana can only get 40% because he can get the forwards plus 15 and South American plus 15, but he can't get another South American plus 15 other than that. He can only get one of them. As far as I know, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's only there's only 2 of those buffs. I actually don't remember what Leo's buff is, and I suppose we could look it up. But if I do not wrong recall, Leo's buff is not enough to do this. It could be. We could take a look at it. There is Leo. So Leo does have access to it. 15%? Wow. So Leo is crazy then. But Leo does get the problem where his buff is not as good as the World Cup ones, right? Yeah, so you could build this for Leo to go like this. So I guess we do have to take the buff into consideration though. So once you do all the buffs into consideration, we know that Hyuga can only get to 40%. Meanwhile, Schneider, Santana can get to 45, and so can Aoi. In which we start to look at the changes, and that means that we have with just Raiju, which is your standard shot, 115, but Schneider comes up to 119. Even Golden Eagle shot Santana goes to 110, but mostly he can get to 117. And Nonstop Robashata is still sneaking around at 112, which is really not that far behind. And 112, even though it doesn't have 3 blowaways, is a full distance shot from wherever you want. So it kind of ends up being that Aoi is still very, very scary compared to these other things. Now, that does mean that Hyuga is, by all means, like, this just means that he's still in the conversation, right? 115 is still really good. Obviously there's problems. Even though Hyuga does have a 475 power momentum shot, the problem with that shot is that it is it consumes too much stamina. Raiju shot is a huge stamina hog at 505. Now he does have 1051 stamina to compensate for that. That actually means that he has if he wants to shoot it twice, he would have needed to have 1010 stamina. And he does have more than 1010 stamina. Obviously, he has 1051. Which was more or less what I expected him to have. I expected him to have about 1050, so I wasn't too far off the mark there. So Hyuga could still, he still threatens there. But one of the other problems with trying to play Hyuga in a team that would be full Japan is that you kind of honestly want to play the Blue World Youth Misaki. Is he a must-have striker for Blue team? As far as I know, there are plenty of blue shooters for Blue at the moment. There are no shooters in Blue that are this strong. All the shooters in Blue, Kai, calm down. All the shooters in Blue are not as obscene as this. There's no shooter in Blue that is naturally a 12,000 unit. And even the ones that are close in 11,000, or Brian, they don't have a passive that gives them about an extra 10 or 25%. He is much better than Nita by like a non-trivial amount. Nita's good, but he's not Hyuga good. And Rival is a utility shooter. He's not meant to score primarily. He's there to score when the enemy goalkeeper is weak. He's there to take advantage of red goalkeepers by being powerful enough to harass them. But he is a harasser rather than a outright scorer. That's his job. I went too far. Nita is actually around here. And so there's that, right? Like, that's just how that is. Nita, as you can see, 7,841 and 6,539. This only results in about 11,110 or something. It's like pretty low. And his shot is only a 450 shot. It's not a 475. Now it is a little cheaper, and Nita does have a bunch of gas in the tank to run around with, and so he's not bad. And the fact that he has a good low ball and he has a volley as a second S skill is pretty convenient. So he and Hyuga are both volleyers. The only problem, I guess, is that Matsuyama is not what I would call... Like, you want to run the new Matsuyama because the new Matsuyama is a pretty decent passer in blue and a pretty decent tackler. But the problem is that he doesn't help you too much there in that regard. And so right now, the build that we are looking at for a blue team winds up being something like this, right? Hyuga and Nita up front. If you're trying to build Blue Japan, then you have the 0.01 Misugi, although you can run the other one. 283 Tsubasa, the Samurai Misaki, Event Aoi, the last Gacha Matsuyama, World Cup Soda, Dreamfest Jito, Dream Collection Akai, and Ken. And then the total of that would wind up being like this. And you need to have Casagrande on the bench, right? Because you're going to need Jito to be a little stronger than he is, so his block is a little more convincing. With this, you'll wind up with this situation. You can't have mixed the blue Aoi because the blue Aoi has bob and weave interception. We're talking about event Aoi. So you have A80 bob and weave interception, the juggling pass, triangle long pass, bob and weave dribble. Matsuyama obviously with the pass, which is not as good in this team because you won't be able to use it to attack forward. However, you can still use his pass to heckle people, and you can still use avalanche attack to bring the ball forward and before you dump it on somebody else. Suerte en los lanzamientos hoy, enhorabuena por los 500 subs. Sí, ya tengo a Hyuga, ya lancé. Me salió Díaz y me salió Hyuga. And so overhead tiger shot is here. I would put red World Cup Aoi. No, this one's better for a number of reasons for this team because you primarily needed a pass cutter in the middle. If you notice, our defense, there's no defense here basically up until this point. And then, so this is a very defensive second half, and this is a very aggressive forward half. This is a shooting Misaki, and the only reason for the shooting Misaki is because we want the plus 15 stats. Now, if you don't have that Misaki and you have the Samurai Misugi, you can run the Samurai Misugi instead and World Youth Misaki, so you have a better passer. But with 0.01 Misugi, if you do find them, you will have a backup shooter, and so you have 5 shooters here. And on top of that, you will have another 1-2. You'll have an overhead, a 1-2, a dribble, a ground shot, and a pass. And Misugi can do all of that. He's just that decent of a character. Obviously, 283 Tsubasa with a golden duel, diving header. You give him the long distance shot from the other Tsubasa, and if not, just teach him like drive shot or flying drive shot, whatever. You need to teach him a pass and a dribble. Obviously Hyuga with descending Raiju, overhead tiger shot, a dribble and a pass. What's up, Kisei? Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. Pasaba por aquí, nothing excess, dejo mi super like. No drive shot S for 283 Tsubasa. 283 Tsubasa is better with the long distance harassment shot because you can get it all the way up to 295 at A80, and it's a long distance shot. And so the reason that he's not your primary scorer, he exists to drain and to force the goalkeeper to have to make big saves. Either way, he's already a big shooter. If you want him to be one of your primary scorers, you can give him S drive shot, but I think S drive shot is not a very good shot. It would be better to find a dupe S flying drive shot for him or something else. That would be a stronger shot altogether, and I think it's more accurate anyway. Obviously Misaki with a green cut shot, magnificent pass, golden duo, elegant tackle, and magnificent interception. He's not particularly good dribbler, like at all, and so you can't really teach him a dribble because otherwise you'll just lose the ball a lot. You have to rely a lot on A golden duo, and he's not too strong, so you can't teach him S golden duo without feeling bad. Gold info as always. Could you please upload the exercise sheet on Drive to download it? No, this is just for me. I only use this to just create teams. I don't share this one. This is just for me. There's nothing special about it anyway. It's just a simple visualization for me so that I can use it in videos. Obviously, for your buffs, you want to do Extreme Awakening of Japanese players from either the Misaki or the Misugi, depending on which 2 characters you have available. You want Extreme Awakening of attacking midfielders and defensive midfielders from Matsuyama. You don't actually need Yumikura, but you have him on the bench just in case. And then Warriors Extreme Awakening, Agility and DF from Casagrande, which you don't start because you want the 10% extra for Hyuga. What will be the best blue team regardless? Japanese player you know, including Sho, Vulcan, etc. I don't know. I think that this is probably pretty good because it maximizes the strength of your Hyuga, and Ken S99 is obviously very powerful. That might be worth more than anything else that you can find in this game right now. Ken will always be a pretty solid goalkeeper because of how good he is at punching. Even if he's not Omega top tier, he'll still always be really solid. And he can just keep making saves all game because of tenacity and because punching is so inexpensive. Obviously, with Sora and Akai, it's very hard to swing the ball into the middle, but there is a lack of solid auto-interception passives like Red has. I don't think Blue is better than Red yet, but I think that Hyuga goes a long way to alleviating the problem, and then an actual Blue Japan team would, in my opinion, probably be one of the best teams that you can build right now. Obviously, I still think that like 3-2-3-2, for example, I still think that Rainbow Aoi is probably the best. Here I would now put the blue Hyuga, for example. I would go like this now because this is just better, even though you miss out on a green scorer. You would be fine with 2 blues and a red. Obviously this Nita is not the scoring Nita, it's actually Falcon Pass Nita. And so you can have a red primary shooter here and this, and then you just do 30% to all Japan. This is incorrect because it's old. But this team, full Japan, this Aoi is still probably the strongest. And it's still a really good way of putting the blue Hyuga to work. Obviously there's a ton of ways to cut or stop the ball here. You can either put, and there's also a lot of ways to get the ball to Aoi. For example, this is actually the Aurora Curtain Tsubasa, and this is actually Cancer Misaki. And so you have a lot of access to, like, here is a super tackle, here's another super tackle, here's 2 amazing pass cuts, here's a super block, here's freaking the best Ganzo in the game. No, so you don't run red pedal to the metal Tsubasa because you want to maximize your ability to take the ball back and then to pass the ball. This build focuses entirely on Aoi, but with the new Hyuga you do have an actual second credible threat. Asumo que escoges a los Tachibana de Collection por delante de Misugi y Matsu Fest por su intercepción automática. Yes, eso es correcto. He's asking me, I assume that you're picking the collection Tachibanas in front of Misugi and Matsuyama because of their automatic pass cut, and that is correct. This makes the defense a humongous clog. It's so difficult to get the ball back or to get the ball through with this defense. Yes, this is the easy win team. Basically, this team gets the ball, dumps it to Aoi, and Aoi lets it rip. And then once Aoi has sufficiently exhausted the goalkeeper, you send it over to Hyuga, and then Hyuga kills them. And it's just real toxic. This is, and here you only need 3 S99s. You need an S99 here, an S99 here, and an S99 here, and that's it. And it's over. This team is just real toxic, and I was very, very happy. Obviously, I need to change now. This, it needs to be straight line dribble, and then a tiger pass, and we can keep that. And then we gotta change the passives here. You need Japanese players emergence again. There's another Japanese and skill kind, right? It's the Nita one, but you can't play Nita, and so you're gonna need a Misugi somewhere. New Green Akai, and then that way you can do this, because that's the only way you can actually run this team with the blue Misugi on the bench. Now you can run the blue Misugi instead of the Nita, or you can run the red Nita instead of this if that's all you can do. But this blue Nita with the Falcon Pass, his entire job is to enable Aoi and Hyuga, and with that, he's just too strong. With a SA80 Falcon Pass. And so you actually have a player whose entire job is to pass the ball, right? Like, there's only enablers here. Enabler, 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 scorer, scorer. It is really, really narrow-minded. It will probably lose to a high enough level blue Mueller that gets a little lucky on rolls. But yeah, there's no European easy win team yet because it's really hard to get Europeans that high, and both of your good strikers are red, and so they don't just clean up Genzo like they should. But they are very strong. You can run a European easy win team almost. It's just not quite there yet because you have to like sacrifice Blue Levin. You have to run Blue Levin in the bench, and Blue Levin sucks. And then you have to run the green Kluvert, and the green Kluvert might not be good enough to start in European 30%. And then your other 10% has to come from somewhere. And I feel like what are your options there? It's like Gentile, and I mean Gentile is worth starting, but if you only have Gino, like you feel kind of cucked, right? Like who can you run there, right? Like let's talk about it actually. Let's do that. Let's make a copy here. We're gonna name this. And actually, if you're running European, you want to do that. And so and then I wanna have no borders, and then no fill, and then I need to fix my borders here. Like that. There you go. Not sure is a 0.01 on the bench. How crazy. So we're gonna build a 3-2-2-3. If we were gonna build this theoretical team, obviously you need to have Mueller here, and it needs to be the blue Mueller, and it has to be. How good would this Hyuga fare against green GK top tier? Nira J. Pretty well. There's not a whole lot of top tier. There's no double S tier green goalkeepers, so you have a fair chance of defeating S99 Genzo or S99 Wakashimazu, honestly. Even the Mueller with an S99, if they were running for some reason a green European team, you could still do it. So we gotta determine who our team is here, right? 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This would be your team, and so I would want to say that New Red Robson give 10% to European. Yeah, he does, so you can run Robson. So actually, we can clear that up. Actually, New Red Robson doesn't give 10. He gives 10 to Red, or something like that. Players. So characters, we gotta find Robson now. Robson's over here. Nothing. Why not Mitsugi 0.01 as forward in the past Japanese team? Great pass stats. Because SA80 Falcon Pass is too strong. Let's see. Robson. New Robson. 10 Europe, 7 red. Excellent. So you can run that Robson. That does free up a couple of things. That means that you could run the Gentile too. Gentile. And so we have Robson here as a defender. And so at 3 we have Robson. And he has a perfect block. High power tackle. Forcible interception. I would teach him... I don't think you need to teach him a whole lot. But you could teach him... that because it's easier to level up. You might be able to get enough levels of that. Levin. Okay, so you don't need Levin. Cults here makes sense. Cults here makes sense. So cults makes sense there. I don't know if I would put Levin in particular. I don't know where I would put Levin yet. Kluivert, I don't know about Kluivert yet either. We gotta determine whether Kluivert would make it, even though he is the source of another one. But I think we want Gentile no matter what, right? I think we want the Gentile. We want this Gentile here. So we want Gentile. Obviously, this Mueller needs to be the blue Mueller. We want the blue Gentile because he has Supernova, Dandy Block, Dandy Pass. We can teach him Power Tackle 80 very easily. And we could teach him... I think he has the skills for Dandy Interception. Let's find out. He's not much of an interceptor, so we're not going to bother with that, actually. We could teach him Power Dribble as a way to get out of it. Sticky situations. So I actually will go to get out of sticky situations. So there you go. We now have that. Mueller, obviously, you can't get rid of this, but you can teach him windmill catch, double hammer, one-handed catch, giant's arm. What other players do we want here? Now, what other defenders do we want that are European? We can go with... there's not a whole lot of options. We can run Green Pierre. That is a possibility. We can actually do that because we want him there. He is... what's the name of his block? What is the name of his block? The name of his block is... not Brolin. Brolin fucking sucks. But Pierre has super reflex block. That's right. And so we have interception, butterfly tackle, and then we teach him leave him with slider pass, and then we teach him artistic dribble attack so he can be flexible. And now at defensive midfielder we have Kalt. And see, the thing is that I kind of want Pierre as a defensive midfielder because he's a blocker slash tackler, which actually makes him really good at this part of the field because if he falls back he covers. But having a blocker tackler here is not, I don't think is very optimal. The problem is that there's not... you could put Brolin there. Dreamfest 11, people keep saying that, but I don't want Dreamfest 11 there. I want something better. Everyone's gonna keep saying Dreamfest 11. 11 tapes the spot. No, his team skill is not important. We don't even need 11 here. So... so we gotta fix the buff here, and then Rob, Gentile, and Gino. I could put Gino on the bench, so I could put Zeno. And that easily gives me room for anyone else I want. Obviously, here I want Schneider. And so Schneider, I want Fire Shot, Kaiser Step, Kaiser Tackle EX, Fire Interception, no, Flamer Interception, Fire Pass. Doesn't need anything else really. And I can actually move him off to the side, right? And so one of these other two forwards has got to be what? We want what exactly out of here? What are some midfielders that we could field? Obviously, we have Chester to consider. Cruford Green. Cruford Green's possible. But we may not need Green Cruford. We may want to run Blue Cruford, right? Because Blue Cruford can now finally play here as a shooter. Napoleon and Margus. World Cup Margus, really? I don't know about World Cup Margus. I don't like World Cup Margus. Blue Margus is not... I don't know about Blue Margus either. You would have to put Blue Margus right here in the middle, right? Like... bleh. Blue Margus... And then you have to run a... I mean, you have to run a Chester. If you do that. And we still don't have a great passer. Larson sucks. Larson's real bad. And so we come to the weird situation of Europe, which is, where do you find your passing? Where is the European passing? You have Kluivert, Brolin, Federix, Larson, Klinsmann, Kaiser, Lensenblick, Dick, Dolman. Dolman sucks. Mateo's not a real character yet. Green Cruford is more versatile than the blue one. He sure is. It might be that you might have to just go like you go like Brian, and then you just go right, like spiral jumping volley, and then you have to actually switch spots with him. So you actually have to go like this. Right? And then you have to go something like this. Because Brian is better in the box. Brian's better in the box. And then you end up having the situation where it's like, you have to do this. Spiral jumping volley, you have to go spiral shot up, direct break volley EX. Hey, Pow Slayer, how's it going, man? Thanks for the sub. You're getting into the overload. Direct break volley, and then what? Techno pass, and then spiral turn. Dude, if you haven't figured out what's happening, it's really obvious. We're clearly building European Rainbow. Like, it's really obvious that we're building European Rainbow right now. Not easy win, just like a cool European Rainbow team. Now, remember that Schneider and Napoleon are out of position, which kind of sucks. Napoleon, before you was using Awe. Oh, no, this is just, I know you're from Chi Game Chat, but never check your channel. Now I regret it a lot. Haha, no hay problema, Pau Slayer. Bienvenidos. Red Levin, yeah, I feel like Red Levin has to wind up somewhere. I just don't know where yet. And I don't know if I can run a better unit. Like I want to run better units, but it feels like you kind of have to run all of Sweden, right? Because Sweden's so fucking strong. Now we have Schneider, Brian, and Napoleon. Might as well run... You could run the blue... You can run the blue guy. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to go like this, and we're actually going to go Chester. And we're going to put the red Chester here because he's actually kind of solid. Why'd you choose this formation? Because it's 3-2-2. It's because it gives you... This formation gives you 10% physical to, I think it's either Europe or non-Japanese players, which benefits a Mueller. No, we're gonna go with Redchester because Redchester is very inexpensive in his use, and he's actually very defensive. And it's very easy to, if you farm the S pass, to give him a strong S pass, or you could give him A80 killer pass, which is also strong, which helps you navigate the field a little better. And so Redchester here is my pick. Also, he's very inexpensive. He can stay the whole game because he has the passive. The passive helps him out a lot. So right now we're still looking around. What other characters can we run? There's just really not that many. Obviously we have Margus, Robson, Akai, Gentile, no, not Akai, Gino, and then we're starting to run into the problem where we do have to fill in with a little bit of jobbering. You just have to determine which of the I have that Chester is very useful. He's a very good support. The 10% non-Japan is 4123. No, but there's also, what's 3223 then? There's a 3223 formation that's good. No, it won't solve the problem at all. Yeah, I guess it has to be like Levin and Federix, right? And so you kind of have to run Red Levin, which is rough. But here you can run. It's 10% defense. What? It is non-Japanese defense. Non-Japanese defense. It's super weird. Okay, so that changes things a lot. So we need 4123 whack. This changes things way too much. This changes things way too much. So now we gotta figure out this a little bit. Or that just means that Colts falls back. No border. No fill. Move him. Thick box borders. Whoa. Thick box border. And so this becomes our fill. NBA, I sent you a pic. Here's my little pony Moni European team. Damn, that's a lot of SRs, homie. Damn, My Little Pony European team. That team is funny as shit, dude. Schneider and team skill. I missed the choice of Red Robson instead of DC version. Why was it? Yeah, it's because I need the team skill. And now, so 4123 is really what we have to run here. This is a little bit better in terms of what winds up where, I guess. But we still wind up with this weird way of building. And so you know what? This is actually what I'm gonna do. This is actually what I'm gonna do. I think this is what I'll do. And the reason for that is because this enables Brian. And so we have Schneider, Margus, Napoleon, and then Chester and Brian. And that gives me Margus, Chester, Kaltz, Schneider. And so Chester all of a sudden can use Germanic combination, and so can this guy. And so we wind up with a situation where I want to do something like this instead. Because you can actually teach it to him by pulling it off of somebody else. And so, high speed through ball. Because you can do that. Yeah, you want to do Germanic combination at that point, because why not? Now, there's only one weakness, and that's Napoleon has to go with cannon burst shot, Eiffel attack, You want to give him the strong tackle and straight line dribble. Hello, you are my master. Tampoco. Calmate. Is that Blue Margus good? He has 47k power. He actually is pretty strong. He's like reasonably strong, frankly. And for having him here, he'll actually be a good unit. And then for him, he obviously has a header, and then you can teach him high angle header. You can level up bullet shot. You can give him, if you got a dupe, obviously remember this is perfectly 100% best case scenario, perfect worlds stuff. And so I think it's teamwork combination, the name of that skill, right? We're gonna double check it because I wanna make sure. I think it's called teamwork combination. It's teamwork combo. Okay. So teamwork combo, tangle diamond header, bullet shot, high angle header, and then here we do strong pass. Because the only other option he gets, a Germanic combination. He can't learn it, but he can teach him teamwork combo, and so that's to me like the funniest possible thing you could do. Napoleon has cannon burst, shot, full attack, strong tackle, force mission, straight like dribble because you're not running a Misaki. This Chester will have. This Chester comes with his S skill, I believe, is the tackle, the straight tackle. And so we'll do the straight tackle, high speed through ball. We're not gonna teach him loop shot, but he's gonna have a Germanic combination here. You can teach him magnificent interception, and with that you have a pass. And you need a quick step, so you can do like a quick step here, and he'll be good. And so we have Chester, Brian, and then you have obviously Levin, who has a new Levin shot. Levin gets a couple things here, but how am I gonna build them? Let's look at Levin. Your experience very helped, thank you. Let's look at Levin. Stefan Levin. Stefan Levin, Dreamfest. He has, obviously, comes a new Levin shot, Aurora Curtain, and right angle feint. So we'll keep that. Obviously, he has a but we can teach him a swift interception and Levin pass. I think we can just keep that nice and simple, right? And that leaves us with 2, 3, 4, 5. He is the 6. So 10, 9, 11, 7, 8, 6, 5 would be Pierre Robson, Kaltz. Pierre Robson, and then we have Kaltz, who has artistic interception, and you can teach him a flash tackle. We're gonna go full-on ridiculousness here. We're not going to teach the S tackle to Levin because it's easier to just teach him A Aurora Curtain, honestly. And it's probably preferable to actually leave it on A Aurora Curtain because you can level it up. S Aurora Curtain is nice, but he doesn't warrant, in my opinion, having it. You don't want to use it. However, Kaltz with Flash Tackle is surprisingly cheap. And so that's actually not a bad tackle. It's a 390 tackle, which is pretty sweet as far as tackles go. Obviously, you could level up Hedgehog tackle, but for just a little bit more power, it's just the balls are what keep it. Hedgehog defense, though, why not S shot for Margus? Because S bullet shot sucks. It's like really bad. I mean, sure, why not? We're talking about full dream, right? So might as well. So let's just go here. Let's fuck it. We're actually gonna keep the tackle. We're gonna keep the tackle in this case, even though we could teach him the S tackle. We're not going to. Shouldn't Kaltz be DM though? His block isn't too great. That's fine, but he clogs the middle. So if Levin's here, you have to put Kaltz at defense, and the reason you put him here is because it's hard to get balls over the middle. Because Kaltz will go to them, especially if you raise his speed a lot. And so Hedgehog tackle, and then here we're gonna go. What are you doing? Euro team? Yes, we're gonna do. We're gonna actually teach him Hedgehog defense here, and we're gonna go loop pass, and we're gonna go Hedgehog dribble. This is how we're gonna do it. This is how we're gonna build this. And so Mueller obviously has. We have Mueller, Bryan, Schneider, Marcus, Napoleon, Chester, Bryan, Levin, Pierre, Robson, Koch, and Teal. It's very red heavy. We could put Blue Chester here, and he might be a better fit altogether, but if we do that, his skills have to change. But it does give us an additional shooting option, but his passing, I do believe the blue passing on Chester is better when you limit break him anyway. So we might do that actually. We're gonna mix it up here. And we're actually gonna go Blue Chester instead, because it's probably, even though he's not as cheap to use, I want him to get the 10% buff from being with Kaltz, and he is a competent passer at 9200, and with 10% buff, he'll be a base 10,000 or better passer, and I think that might be what puts it a little bit better over the top. The only problem is that twin technical shot is not exactly what I would call impressive, and so we're gonna go killer pass. I have to remove that. We can leave the interception there, and then here, if you got it, you can go strong tackle EX, because that's probably what you have. And so this is a little more. I think this is a little better. Now the problem is that defensively you have nothing out here, because Levin is not. You have only Levin and Bryan, and so Chester is a little bit of a weakness defensively, because dramatic combination pass and a shot. He's a little bit more aggressive than defensive. So it is what it is. He's not much of a dribbler, so you just don't teach him quick step. His dribble is not anything to write home about. It's only 8,000, sorry. And so you gotta just keep him around there. And so I mean, I think this is decent for a Europe, I think this is decent for a Europe rainbow, right? Like if this is our blue Japan and this is our Aoi rainbow and this is our Europe rainbow, then I think this is pretty good, right? I would say it's not bad. So I think that's cool. So there you go. This is a rainbow Aoi, where the goal is entirely to enable Aoi and Hyuga at all times and not to think about anything else. And then here we have Blue Japan. This is probably the best Blue Japan you can build right now, in my opinion. What about Europe Red? Is it strong? Europe Red's pretty strong. European midfield doesn't really amaze me. I don't see many good additions to it in the near future. Yeah, I mean, because we're running green Pierre, we can't run a red Pierre. And red Pierre would be kind of scary up front. But there's just really no other... There's nowhere to, like, put stuff here, right? I think a red Europe is super strong, frankly. Because you can run Schneider Napoleon. See, for example, like... If you go like this, and you go... If you go like this, right, you can do stuff like this. You can do stuff like this, and then here you go. You start running out of stuff though. Like for example, this can be red Chester, obviously. And there is a red Bryan, but like, you have to go like, this, right? And then I don't know what you put in these spots, honestly. I actually don't know what goes here. And then you don't have a real red goalkeeper except Gino, and so you have to go. You can do stuff like, actually, I suppose you could put this guy here. And Gentile here, and then you can go Gino here. So who's your last character? Do you just run Margus again? Right? Because you can do that. You can move here to be your 8. You could do that, and you can do this. Right? Like, you can run this as a red Europe. This is a good red Europe, right? And then you actually can figure out plus 15% to Europe. So this is actually pretty good, I would say. But I think it's like the only way you can do it. And it's super heavy on like blocking. Right? Like this is your red Europe without the skills being allotted, obviously. So this is just actually like this. You keep everything roughly the same up here. This is we've been through this already. This was and then here you end up getting something else. Full attack, butterfly tackle, and you go something like that. Why not change it 3232 since it's monocolor? Because 3232 I would have to change it to like 4132. Just got Dreamfest Diaz. How would you limit break him? 2203, 250, 25, 2203. Like everybody else, that's an attacking red forward in some way. And then we have Brolin, Robson, and then there's a different Gentile. It's a Dandy block, Dandy pass, power tackle. And then this was a and interception, then power dribble. And then here I'll leave this roughly the same. Robson, I have to figure something out for him. Why are you putting Margus center forward? Because he's an air forward. He's an air baller. Why? Where else would I put him? How about Dreamfest Misugi? What would you LB in him? My Dreamfest Misugi build is really weird. I have to show it because it doesn't make any sense, because my Dreamfest Misugi participates in the offense, so he needed to be built a particular way. ¿Rendirá el Schneider tiro mellizo ahora con el nuevo Hyuga? Creo que tiene más remate que Nita. Yes. The twin Fire Tiger Schneider is better than Nita in this case. Why not change it to 222 since it's monocolor and call it skills as a defensive midfielder, which is better? No. This is why you have to put him side forward, because an aerial shot, low high doesn't momentum so much, even shoot from angle. That is incorrect. He is just as affected by angle as anybody else. And it's easier to beat. It's easier to like position your side forwards if you need to by running up, by dumping the ball, by dumping the ball at a certain way. You can actually sort of beat the side defenders and then swing in, and then as long as you're in the area and a little bit up from the area, then you can still shoot and not get penalized heavily for the angle. You just have to learn how to control the space. It's kind of awkward, but it's doable. This is like, I'm only okay with this in the sense that it's not too difficult to to position the defenders so long as the defenders and position your attacker so long as you are paying a lot of attention. But I'll show my Misugi. What's the best monocolor Japan team? Red. Red, 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 red. Red. It's red. Blue Hyuga is still good, but it's red. The red forwards can be 45%, and your Aoi can also be 45%. And you have access to red World Cup Tsubasa, you have access to Raiju Misaki, you have access to fucking red Nita, who's really good. You have Aoi, you have red Hyuga, Brave Tiger Shock Hyuga, which is really good. Where do you think we will get the new player from Road to 2002, Golden 23, and Rising Sun? When we release more of the World Youth characters. So we're missing World Youth Brazilians. We're missing World Youth. Who else is missing in World Youth? We need more Brazilians from World Youth. We got a couple of them, but we're missing a couple of them also. So once those start getting released, we'll start seeing more stuff. I don't even know what to put on Brolin. Robson obviously is like a S perfect block. What do you think? I don't think it'll be Dreamfest Ishizaki. I don't think Ishizaki will be a Dreamfest unit. Whoa, okay, so this is the other stuff. Where was my... Okay, never mind. So we gotta go look for Robson real quick and Brolin. Hyuga should be #1 shooter right now. High stats, high momentums. He is, but the red Hyuga can definitely scare you a lot more. And also, red Japan is funny because you can run Takeshi and seriously run him and not feel bad about it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of funny how you can do that. There's a 3-2-3-2 red Japan that makes sense, that is hard to explain. Next Dreamfest will be non-Japanese, I think. Maybe. We had 2 Japanese Dreamfests in a row, so it's probable impossible that it'll be non-Japanese. But I just can't imagine who they would put. It'd be cool if they finally added Espadas, but I don't want a Dreamfest Brian. I really don't. I think it's fine. South American team would be nice. It's possible that it's the Tsubasa from the app icon. I think next Dreamfest will be a European defender like Gentile. If it's a European defender, it's probably Gentile, honestly. Gentile deserves a little bit more love. He gets kind of ignored. But he was injured during World Youth, and he kind of sucked, so you never know. So, what would we put? So, I need to go look at Brolin and shitty Robson. He's so shitty, so we got Robson. And then Brolin is around here somewhere. Red Brolin sucks. Like, he's so whack. He's a 40k unit, it's just that's the best you can do. You can at least block, and I guess he also fucks on Hyuga, so that's always nice, right? But he fucking knows like no skills. Like, muscle block's cool at least. Power tackle, you can teach him power block. You can teach him power charge, and you can teach him what was my reception? That's all you should teach him. And then Robson obviously learns perfect block and actual good skills. Forward Espadas because red need more forwards. If it's a forward Espadas, I hope it's a green forward Espadas. Honestly. Perfect block, high power tackle, forcible interception, high power block, power tackle if you have spares. And so that would be my red Europe. Anyways, I've been streaming for like an hour and 15 minutes, and this was going to be a much shorter video originally, which was just gonna analyze Hyuga, and we broke it out into a little bit of Euro talk, a little bit of red Euro talk, a little bit of everything, you know. And so we've got that, we've got this, we've got the Aoi rainbow that you guys got to see, and so yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna go do some other stuff, but I guess I have some transfers I guess I could do, and so I guess I'll do those. I have some tickets or whatever. I'm not gonna kick Dreamfest anymore because I don't need to, but I got some point tickets, and I could do some point tickets. So I guess I'll do some point tickets, and we'll call it, unless someone wants me to kick at the Dreamfest really badly, but I already have everyone, and I'm not looking. I mean, I'm not gonna get Santana from it, you know, like that would be a little too lucky, and I don't think that I'm that lucky. So we're gonna go for it. Let's kick these point transfer tickets. You never know what's in them. Maybe I get Green Bunak finally after years and years of waiting for him. I won't even need him anymore. So what do we got? Okay, 5 birds. 5 birds, not bad. Gold arrow. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is terrible. So what we get? We got some skills then. Uppercut defense, sliding block, and I think this is twin shot? Yeah, it's twin shot. Because the other one's Tachibana twins. Cool. Got a bunch of these. I got a lot of these to kick. Fuck. Club transfer, I'm not gonna find anything there. How many dream balls do I have? I got 5. Yeah, fuck it. I'll do a single. Let's see what happens. Let's go, Santana! It's not gonna happen. That'd be hilarious, actually. Timing is good. Oh, there's nothing here. It is empty. It is beyond empty. Oh, that's okay. For Hyuga limit break, I'll cover that real quick. I found nothing. I found trash. Hyuga limit break. Let's go look at my limit break screen. Do I have enough league games to play? I think I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. Which tackle would work for him? The Neo Tiger Shot guy? Whatever the A tackle is. You can go C40 if you want. It's nice and inexpensive. If you don't want to level up the tackle. So let's talk about Blue Japan. There is a couple ways that you could limit break this guy. You could do this. And this is a perfectly good way to limit break him, by the way. And then you do 22-3, or you split here. You split the difference. You can do dribble or tackle depending on what you want more, but I would do dribble because you don't need to level up the tackle. So this is actually a viable way of playing this Hyuga. Doing the speed makes you really, really quick. That means that Hyuga can get into position better, and then once Hyuga is going to try to beat the defenders, he'll be able to more quickly get behind the defender into the proper position to receive the ball, which is very good. It can blow up in your face if your player runs too early, but at the end of the day, I think that this is a good way to be able to dribble past defenders and to get in there, and obviously it gives you a little bit of tackle. It gives you about 500 tackle here because of the speed boost. And then the other way of doing it would be the standard build, which is what I like to call the I might pass the ball build. I don't know that that's great on him. Even if you gave him a max pass, you're not going to worry too much about it. This is the I might pass the ball build. I don't know that this is the best on this Hyuga. I think maybe 25, 25, 25, 25 is the best here. Because you do want to just go as fast as possible. That's just how it is with this Hyuga, right? It's just... That's just what you want to achieve. And then someone asked me for Diaz, because Diaz came out. And I'll show you Diaz, and then I'll show my Misugi so that people can understand how basically insane I am. And so for this Diaz, you do something like this, which is the same thing. You play this Diaz like the you might pass the ball Hyuga, but he actually will pass the ball because he's a good passer. Juan Diaz can do it. And now Juan comes from a time where they didn't like secretly stack the stats, so like his block isn't really low so that they can fill up the other stats. And so this is kind of how I would run it: 22-3, 25-25, 22-3. This Diaz is very strong. I don't think people give him enough credit. Street dribble is very good. Triple gymnastic shot is very good. And if you did the challenge road like we did, and you ground it really hard until it came out, even though you didn't have the right Diaz, then this thing's strong, and this is easy to level up. Actually, it really isn't. There's no way. There's no A skill. You have to give him SR balls. But it's totally doable, right? Like, you can achieve a lot of things with this. I listened so many times to your explanation about forward angle issue, but didn't understand because you're talking so fast. The forward in the center, the reason why is because you can't correct your angle when you're in the air, and the angle still impacts you in the air. It has the exact same effect. And so if you're in the box, you wanna make sure you are already in the box when you receive the ball. You don't want to pass the ball around. You want to get the ball and shoot. You don't want to have to correct with Margus. You want to get the ball and hit it. Meanwhile, Napoleon and Schneider can correct it. Schneider has access to dramatic combination in both teams that I built, and Napoleon has access to Eiffel attack in both teams that I built. And therefore, it's very easy for them to correct their positioning, get really close to the goalkeeper, and shoot. They don't have any problems. In Diaz, I spent 1k in shot, power, speed, and pass because I use it as a midfielder. That's also a good idea. NBA, no. The effect is the exact same. The problem is that, so like, if you were to get the ball at the very bottom of the, if you were to get the ball at a terrible angle off of a rebound or something, and Margus was there, then Margus won't be able to do anything with it. And the best way to make sure that he doesn't get in that situation is if he's just in the right place to start. And as such, he should be as dead ahead in front of the goalkeeper as possible. Meanwhile, Napoleon and Schneider both have 1-2 skills that I am giving them in the builds that I made. And as such, they don't have issues repositioning. It's speed to enforce dribble and tackle and pass because it's drive pass. That's true. I think I like that, actually. I think I might go with that then. Because speed, again, going max speed is never a bad idea. Now, I wouldn't do 22, I wouldn't do 25 pass. I do 22-3 because it's a better distribution. You get more total pass this way. You actually get something like 1,030 pass as opposed to 1,000. And also it gives you a little bit of white intercept. Meanwhile, the max speed is good because even if the dribble and the tackle aren't specifically buffed, giving them 500 of each is good, and making them run like hell is better. 8-8-9 would be a better distribution specifically to make the skills better, but if you want them to run faster, this is a better build. I think this is good. And there's still no Mexican team worth playing because there's not 30% non-Japanese. That Diaz is super fast. Yeah, I mean, if you gave him that thing, then that Diaz would be lit as hell if you built him that way. The best part, too, is that I have this idiot. I have no idea how I'm going to play him. He's so bad. Like, this guy sucks. But now I can play him, finally. It's like fucking trash garbage. I consider speed and forwards and attacking midfielders as very important to move forward as far as possible, and to be able to get a shot without getting into matchups. Yeah, I can agree with that. Also, I'm starting to think that my red team might be better with a lot more South Americans on it. What do you think about limit break catch power tech for World Cup Hernandez? He's a puncher. Don't do that to yourself. He's a puncher. It's bad. Just don't do it. Now, how would I build? I've been thinking about a team something like this lately. Now that I have the pieces for it. I've been thinking, not this guy, but I've been thinking of, yeah, I mean, listen, if that's what you want to do, then do it, bruh. This is what I can build. Let's see, where's Genzo? You know his passive works less stamina, more power, and punch skills costing so little stamina. Yeah, but so a lot of people don't understand why his passive is the way it is. The reason why his passive is the way it is isn't to encourage you to use high cost skills. That's not it. Okay, that's not it at all. Yeah, I know Galvin, but hold on. I'm trying to see. Trying to see if that's just the midfielders though. If you had Red Revol, I think it would be good. Nah, I don't want Red Revol. I mean, it'd be nice, but I'm trying to come up with some weird ideas right here. Because of this crit formation being kind of weird. And right now I'm going to get the S version. I'm trying to think of like a weird, adorable build. But there's no defensive midfielder red of this guy. And this guy's not a defensive midfielder for some fucking dumb reason. And so I'm left playing units I really don't want to play, right? I don't have an Aoi. And so I have to play like this dude, which is not bad, it's just not what I want. And then I have to play these fucking stupid defenders. Like that. But this guy is secretly mad good right now. A lot of people don't understand that this unit right now is kind of toxic. And I hope I can show you guys at some point. But once you like limit break this idiot, like he's gonna be mad dumb. Like take that buff, and then we put in. I don't know what my girlfriend's making, but I think it's just bread, but it smells mad good. Like what the fuck? And so this with like a bunch of crits might be kind of toxic. If I limit break this guy on shot, he'll have like 9,000 power, 10,500 shot, and then limit break this guy and he'll have 11,000 shot, 9,222 power. This guy will be kind of dumb. He won't have access to Golden Duo, but he can still enable people. And then I think I might be able to do some shenanigans with this. Now the problem is this big fuck hole in the middle, which I hate. It's actually the main reason I don't like this formation is because of that dumb shit hole in the middle of the fucking squad. Now if I had red cults, like I could just put him here, and then this team would change a lot depending on what I was facing against. But it's pretty solid in my opinion. You know, like just I don't have to put that guy there. I could put somebody less whack. There you go. Yeah, and then I need some kind of a defender. Oh yeah, I got this guy. I forgot about this guy. I actually would rather have this guy's passive. Go. There you go. And so now, much stronger, much stronger, much stronger, much stronger. Nice. So I think this has a... I think this team's actually okay. And I think this fucking critical rate bullshit is actually dumb. I think the formation sucks, but I think the buff is good. And so I hope I could show people why it's good at some point. Anyways, hour and 30 minutes. I've went longer than I should have. Go check out Jata-kun. Go check out Chi Games is over there in the chat. Go check out NBA01. Go check out Bay TV. Go check out my boy fucking Kike Novoa, who's been streaming also. Go check out who else? Who's been using Hoshi Spot FG? I mean SG. Hoshi Spot, man. Just go check him out. I always forget the last letters. Mario Poke also. Just go check out. There's a bunch of streamers. A bunch of really good content. Misugi Limit Break. Alright, I'll show you the Misugi Limit Break really fast as we end this because I keep realizing I'm not showing you fucking Misugi. I promise I'm not trying to like cock block you. I'm just going to show you Misugi so you can see why I did it. I'll explain it real fast. If you see, I have 8 dribble, 8 tackle, 9 speed, and I also have that for pass, intercept, and technique, and then 25 block power. And the reason for that is because my Misugi participates in the offense because I play attack a lot, and so I need his passes to make it to places. And so I need him to at least be 9,000 pass, and I need him to be at least 9,000 dribble because I have S drive pass and S magnificent footwork, and I need to maximize this. And you're thinking, well, you get a bunch of S skills. What's wrong with you? That's really inefficient. I have tenacity, dude. I don't care. Like, I don't care that my stamina is this. They're all cheap skills. He has a 260 S dribble, which is kind of really cheap. He has a 360 S tackle, which is pretty cheap. He has a 220 pass, which is pretty cheap. He has his intercept's actually more expensive than his S pass or his S dribble. And it's not much cheaper than his... I mean, it is pretty cheaper, a bit cheaper than his tackle, but not that much. His block is really the expensive thing, and so most people decide then that if they see him, they're not going to shoot because it's an S block, and so they try to do something else, and it's not that hard to deal with him. And since he's a defensive midfielder for me, he actually interacts with players a lot, and so all of this needs to be decent. Once I'm done with, I think, my Green Misaki's intercept, which I think I'm going to stop leveling once I get it to A41, I'm going to start working on his. This Misugi is really good. He's actually fucking nuts. A lot of people severely undervalue him because he's not as crazy as Pierre in terms of raw stats, but because I play him in a Japanese formation, he's good. And obviously, his power and his block, because I have this guy, is pretty high. He's also really strong. Obviously, blocker. He is a bit better of a blocker because he just has so much higher block in general. And then I have Matsuyama here to synergize with Misugi by being a lot stronger and also by having a really good tackle. If you guys notice, I don't have the sliding block anymore, and that's because it's on him. He comes in sometimes to relieve Akai, but I think I need to find the B shoulder block and max it so that I can give him B shoulder block instead of A. And then, although I think I might remove the A right angle defense and see if I find something else. Because I don't need 2 tackles here, I have this one and this one. And aggressive right angle defense is a pretty good tackle with very, very low foul rate compared to dangerous tackle. Which, frankly, I don't know why I accidentally put it here. I gave him dangerous tackle. And actually, I use dangerous tackle when I need to foul. So sometimes you need to just foul someone. Sometimes you're like, if I don't stop him, I better just break his legs because I need him to not keep going. My team is out of position. If my team is out of position, I actually use dangerous tackle instead of aggressive right angle defense. Because that way, if this clips them, then I'm in good shape. And people forget that sometimes you want to foul people. And that's actually very helpful. Sometimes you want to clip a man's legs, dude. Sometimes you're like, if he beats me, I'm done. And so, kill him. Anyways, go check out those channels. Jatakun Bay TV, NBA 01, Chi Games, Tarovat, Hashi Spot. There's a bunch of really good YouTubers out there that would love to have you as a sub or a viewer. Check them out. See you guys later. Honnamata!